Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Litter Media Live with the icon Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey, and Mr. Hand 2, Aaron Glandon, is off to our left. There he is right there, see, in his standard casual fare.
Yeah. He looks like something out of the late 1960s.
You think?
Looks like he just came from Woodstock or something like that.
And I think we've mentioned this before. Serpico comes to mind.
Yeah, that was early 70s.
But you've not seen Serpico yet, have you?
No. And I tried to make the Facebook post, but it deleted itself on me, so I'm going to have to do that again real quick.
Okay. In other words, leave him alone so I can...
I'll do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Be busy. All right, weather-wise for us today, it's going to be a little bit better today, I think.
Pretty day out there today. We're looking for sunshine and a high up around 60, well, that says 69. Tuesday, that's today. A little bit more windy conditions for Wednesday and a high of 66. And then rain is expected back in the picture on Thursday with a high in the upper 50s. And it looks like the cooling trend starts there and goes through early next week, down in the 50s for a high for the weekend and mid-40s for a high at least Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.
I put the rain gauge back out Sunday after we had some rain, and I thought, I wonder how much rain we've got. And I'm like, well, you haven't put the rain gauge back out yet. So I did. And then we had temperatures in the 30s. I'm like, great, here we go. It's going to break my rain gauge.
Now, I know after the rain and then the sun, yesterday the grass, it's taken off.
Yeah.
Now, the frost last night may have slowed it back down a little bit, but we'll see.
I had crocus coming up that I didn't realize had spread. I mean, they're popping up everywhere now. And I planted these things like 20 years ago.
And they're just now showing up?
No, they pop up every year, but I don't think I've ever seen them pop up this many.
Gotcha.
And this early. So, that's been going on. And I noticed on my way to church Sunday morning that the grass was starting to get greener. And so I'm excited about that because that means we get to mow. And that'll lead us into our Hometown Motors Incorporated commercial that we'll talk about here momentarily. So have we given you enough time?
No, I'm still tagging our sponsors.
Okay.
Well,
a little tidbit I heard from a farmer the other day.
Yes.
Because I'd been seeing a lot of fields where dust is flying. He said, we're moving dirt, in other words, disking or plowing, but it's too early to plant.
Right.
He said probably mid-April at the earliest, preferably probably a little later in April. And he told me why. It's not just the ground temperature, it's the crop insurance. If you plant earlier than a certain date and you have problems, you ain't getting it. So they're covering, and I understand that, guys. I get that. So there's your logic.
Well, and that goes right back to, if you've ever wondered, yes, farming is a business.
Absolutely.
And that's part of the business right there. So, and when you run into, like what we had last year, how many farmers lost crops because of the drought and everything.
Not a good year.
Insurance is something that's very key for farmers as well. I was reading up a little bit yesterday on the solar panels and all that. We're seeing solar farms all over the place. And I was wondering to myself, where does this go? And, they're storing all this energy, but who's benefiting from the energy? And one of them that I had checked into was the one out by Yellowbud. Yep. And I was not aware that, like, AEP is not benefiting from this at all. It's going to Amazon for their server bases and everything. So, and I guess you need that. You really do, to drive some of those things. And we're going to see more of them probably pop up because of the industry coming to Ohio. And I know it's a hot button issue for prime commercial farming land, turning it into solar farms, but they're both necessary in today's day and age. Have we delayed enough for you now? We got a thumbs up from Mr. Hand too. So, all right, coming up in a moment, we've got news for you along with sports. And this date in history, tell me, sir, where are the dials set for the Litter Media Wayback Machine?
100 years ago today.
That is just ahead. But first, we want to tell you about Haynes Total Healthcare Center. If it's chiropractic needs you have, they can handle that. Physical therapy, they can handle that too. Nutrition, it all goes together. It's Haynes Total Healthcare Center, and you'll find them at 1 Health Drive, just off Marietta Road here in Chillicothe. Or you can go to our website and find out where their website is. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to hayneshealth.com. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
We were talking about mowing grass here just a moment ago because it's all starting to spring up. And going on right now, Hometown Motors Incorporated Spring Sales Event while supplies last. New riding tractors starting as low as $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers, you want one of those? Starting at $3399.99. New walk-behinds, maybe you still like doing that, or maybe you don't have a big yard. You need a new walk-behind, starting at $39.99. Also, did I say 39? $399.99. New chainsaws, you want to clean up around the property? $2279.99.
Matt, he didn't raise the price on you.
Yes, I did not do that. New blowers and trimmers. The blowers starting at $199.99 and trimmers at $229.99. Hurry in to get the best selection because prices like this won't last forever. So Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Go to our website. You'll be able to find more about Hometown Motors whenever you see an ad on there. In fact, any of our sponsors, if you see an ad, just click on that, and it'll take you right to their information to learn more about them. But if you go in the upper right-hand corner of our website, you'll find all of our social media contact information right there. Litter Media Radio and Spotify as well. At the top of our news today, a little more on the story we led with yesterday.
Plus one. 2 area businesses have received grant funds to assist them in expansion projects that will retain jobs and create new positions. The funding comes from Floor BWXT and the Joint Economic Development Initiative of Southern Ohio. Tykma Electrox has been providing industrial laser engraving systems worldwide for more than 50 years, and the permanent marker distributor is located right here in Ross County. They hope to expand its business by adding 6 new positions by purchasing a handheld 3D scanner and measuring machine. Now, Tykma receives $18,150 to help the business expand. Another local company to receive a development grant is the Murphy Hoffman Corporation, which was presented a check of $12,850, aiding in the company's growth and development. Murphy Hoffman is a multi-state network of Kenworth dealers that provides more than 50,000 customers with a full range of truck-related services. MHC Road Force is the company's latest extension, creating dump truck beds.
We've seen a lot of those on flatbeds being delivered. So, Ohio University Chillicothe has a couple of career fairs coming up. They are 2 Bobcat Career Fairs being held inside Shoemaker Center. April 22nd, the fair will focus on business, health, services administration, communication, and nursing careers. And the April 24th fair will focus on law enforcement, criminal justice, psychology, history, social work, and sociology careers. Both fairs are scheduled from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Employers are invited to register by Friday, April 11th for the Bobcat Career Fairs, where they will have the opportunity to meet with students who are seeking jobs and internships.
Trying to keep you updated on area health departments' release of their annual report. Last week we told you about Fayette County. Well, this week, Fairfield County Health has released their 2024 annual report. The report looks at the accomplishments and strides made as a health department and community. You can view the official report at fairfieldhealth.org.
Chillicothe Baptist Church will be the site for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Unite event. That'll be Sunday evening, 6 until 8 p.m. Students from across Southern Ohio will be coming together to hear student testimonies, a message from Luke Stallnecker, and worship the Lord together with the students. Now, if you want to find out more, you can click on at OCU_WC. You'll learn more about all that for you there. And, of course, we've had Luke in on the studios with us. He is the trainer out at the Ross County YMCA.
Yeah.
And a member of Real Life.
Yes. Yeah. Waverly Library is back in the news again today, only this time for baby story time with their director, Mrs. Natasha. Join them at 10 a.m. at the Waverly Library on the last Tuesday of every month for songs, books, this is Dan's favorite, tummy time, bubbles, and more.
I like bubbles, too.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about tummy time.
Need to go back and correct something I said. I said Real Life. It's Young Life,
Young
Ross
Life,
County.
yes.
So I want to make sure I got that correct. The Area Agency on Aging, District Number 7, will be hosting an in-person advisory council meeting Thursday, March 27th, and is inviting interested community members to attend and participate. The AAA7 covers 10 core counties in southern Ohio, including Adams, Brown, Gallia, Highland, Jackson, Lawrence, Pike, Ross, Scioto, and Vinton counties. The advisory council meeting will be from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. at the AAA7 office in Jackson, located at 1, is it Agency Avenue?
I think it's
AC Avenue.
I've never heard of it.
ACY Avenue. I don't think I've ever been on AC.
Yeah, and I've been to Jackson a few times. Yeah. All right.
Is there a restaurant on AC Avenue? If there were, you'd be there.
That's probably why I've never heard of it. Our road report, the road median work continues, being done on US 23 at 35 splits in Chillicothe. Remember, there's 2 splits of those highways on that outer belt. The first is located on the northeast side of the city and extends to exit 43B. And just from the looks of things, that's going to be a couple of months at least before they can get all that done.
So many of these projects are on until like fall of the year, that kind of thing. So get used to seeing the orange barrels. All right, coming up in a moment, so look at what's happening in the world of sports. Details next. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Since 1977, they've been meeting these needs in your homes and businesses all across southern Ohio. In fact, they stretch all the way over to Dayton, over to Athens, down to Portsmouth, and up to Columbus. You want to find out more about their 8 offices they have? Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to AccurateHVAC.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Scioto Valley dumpsters. I've seen these dumpsters out and about here recently in different people's driveways. They're obviously doing projects or cleanup. It's spring cleaning time for many folks. Personally or for your business, you need a dumpster? Give Scioto Valley Dumpsters a call at 740-253-8389. And when you click on this ad, it'll take you right to their Facebook page where you can learn the latest on what Scioto Valley Dumpsters is doing. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. Time for sports, and you had a guest in studio this morning.
Yeah, Litter Media Live Special Edition talk with Paint Valley baseball coach Shayne Combs about the 30th anniversary observation of the 1995 State Baseball Championship, and that observance will be this Saturday from 1 to 4 at Paint Valley School cafeteria.
It was an idea that just started as kind of like a nice kickoff to the season, and then it started to grow and do a little bit more and more and more. The idea coming up on the 30th anniversary of our 95 state championship team, and then thinking, okay, how could we highlight our 5 district championship teams? Because remember, the year after that, 96, they won a district, and we've won a district in 14, 15, and 21, and we wanted to do some things. And then we thought, well, let's include softball as well. So as we started to do a lot of research, we started to find that baseball started back in around 59. Softball didn't start till 88, which was something that surprised a lot of us. And we thought, let's just bring it together, and we'll make it a reunion-style event. So we're going to have a timeline. So as people come in, you'll walk from 59 to 2025 on the baseball side. You'll walk from 88 to 25 on the softball side. We hope to have a really cool backdrop where people, maybe generations, or maybe all of the all-league players, or all the Ohio players, or maybe get some of those district championship teams together. Maybe you have different families you want to have a picture with.
Yeah. And I'll be stopping in at that event. I told Shayne I don't know if I can be there for the whole 3 hours, but I'll be stopping in. I was broadcasting that state championship tournament run live from the district tournament on, and as we were sharing with Shayne, because Shayne was a senior at Unioto High School that year.
Yeah.
Paint Valley beats Unioto in the district final 3-2. Left the tying run at third base, and then Paint Valley goes and wins the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I said, Shayne, that theoretically was the state championship game, because I think it was closer than the state championship game was. So
I was in the studio, and I remember hearing somebody scream behind you, "Cats win."
That was BJ Daly. Was it BJ? That's BJ saying that. Cats win. Cats win.
A lot of fun. It was good old days. The baseball field out at VA Memorial Stadium looks a little different than it has in previous seasons. Brand new turf was laid in the last few weeks here, and they finally had their first scrimmage, and it was between Waverly and Wellston last night. And I had taken this footage last week when I was out and about. Now, this was before all the filler was placed in, so you're seeing this with just a little bit of the filler down. But now if you walk on it, it's nice and spongy. And I tell you guys, if you want to start sliding halfway through on the baselines, you'll make it, because those pellets will propel you to second base. But there's a lot of work that goes behind putting all this together. And I'll catch up with Brian Wickline, the owner of the majority owner of the Chillicothe Paints, as they host a lot of high school baseball events, college events out there, and of course the Chillicothe Paints games, which will begin in May. So looking forward to that. So he and I will sit down and talk about what it took to make this happen this year. You'll notice there was no outside wall. That's been down for a while, and I think probably for about the last month. And they do plan on erecting that home run wall, basically, is what it is, and that should be ready to go in time for the Paints home opener. But in the meantime, they've got a temporary fence up. And otherwise, back when you were playing and Corky Miller and those guys, they never had a wall. You just hit it, you ran as long as you could. So.
Yeah, I shared that last night, and somebody said, "Where's the fence?" And well, it's a temporary fence that they're using for the high school season. Congratulations to Haley Evans. She is the new head volleyball coach at Tays Valley High School, and that decision was made by their board last night.
And she's back home. She is a Tays Valley kid, so congratulations. Also, the Dodgers and Cubs have gotten the Major League Baseball season underway. A 4-1 win for the Dodgers. They're playing in Tokyo. They played a couple of spring training games against some of the Japanese teams. And then these first two games, of course, the Major League Baseball season doesn't start until the 27th. So they've got, 9 more days until then. So, but 4-1, World Series champions, Dodgers, with a 4-1 win over the Cubs.
And that started at 6:30 this morning, our time.
And they've got another one they'll play tomorrow morning.
Right.
At 6:30 our time.
Yeah.
So
the news, not so good for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They've lost 5 of 6 and 4 in a row. They fell last night by a score of 2-1 to the Devils. They're still within striking distance, but the problem is the more teams you have to catch, even though you're 2 or 3 points back, that's even tougher. So they're going to have to get it turned on here real quick, or they won't get on to the playoffs.
As we noted yesterday, the Cleveland Cavaliers' 16-game winning streak came to an end. I was watching the tail end of their game Friday night or Saturday night, and they were showing who they had yet to play over the next 5 or 6 games. And they're all sub-500 teams. And what happens? They lose the first one out.
Yeah, okay. Sound like the Reds last year doing that.
Yeah. So they've lost 11 games now on the season.
They're 56-11.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And the Reds, of course, still in spring training. Not only their catcher Stevenson is down with an injury, but so is the backup catcher.
Yeah, that happened over the weekend.
And Steers is out with some kind of an injury, so that's not the way we want to start things out here. So.
Well, it's kind of how we started last year.
Yeah, that's my point.
But we got McLean back, and so that's good news. Not sure. I know the plans are to have Elie de la Cruz play at shortstop, but bat third, having Matt McLean ahead of him and behind him the new guy, Austin Hayes.
Yes.
And according to what I heard from Terry Francona in a podcast last week, he says Austin Hayes is playing like he has something to prove.
That's good.
That's what we wanted.
That's what you want.
That's what we wanted. So, and then it's a matter of let's just make sure the pitching's ready to go. And Hunter Green is already named the opening day starter. Right. So we'll see how it goes. March 27th against the San Francisco Giants. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history. What's the subject matter today?
The worst day in North American history for tornadoes. Well, a singular tornado. That's coming up next.
All right, right after this.
Litter Propane, there's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Time for this date in history.
I've known about this storm for years, and I still can't get my head around it. Last year was the 50th anniversary of the Xenia tornado, which for people in our community, that was just devastating. But put your head around this. 100 years ago today, the worst tornado in U.S. history passes through eastern Missouri, southern Illinois, and southern Indiana, killing 695 people, injuring some 13,000. It caused $17 million in property damage in 1925 dollars.
That'd probably be like $17 billion today.
It would be unreal. It was called the Tri-State Tornado. The deadly storm broke out in northeast Ellington, Missouri, but we wreaked its worst havoc in southern Illinois. More than 500 of the 695 people who lost their lives perished were killed, 234 in Murfreesboro, 127 in West Frankfort. I'd never heard of West Frankfort before this, but I think in a couple of those instances, there were schools that were hit, and all those kids were lost. That was before video cameras were readily available to capture such a storm that was coming in, but from survivor testimony, they said it was almost like a rolling, what's the thing that you use to knead out dough?
Rolling pin?
Rolling pin. That's how they described it. It looked like a rolling pin just coming across the horizon, and it was absolutely horrible. But we pray that nothing like that will ever happen again. So mention that to dovetail into this. Remember, tomorrow morning at 9:50 is Ohio's statewide tornado safety awareness drill.
I can't keep it up that long.
Yeah. You're going to have sirens going off at 9:50 tomorrow morning. You're encouraged to act as if it's an emergency so you'll know what to do in case it were an actual emergency.
And not just sit there and wait for it to, when is this thing going to stop?
Yeah. We may be in an interview about that time tomorrow. So if you see us duck under the table, that's why.
That's part of the drill.
Yeah, part of the drill. Yeah.
I don't know that we've actually discussed what to do in this storm here.
A warehouse upstairs probably is not the best location.
I would agree,
go.
because I have a feeling this roof would be the first thing
that would be
go.
gone. Yeah.
So we probably have to go down, save a spot, might be in the bathroom. In
with
this
all
building.
Three of,
with all three of us
in that bathroom.
Huddled around.
That could be adventuresome.
Suddenly got a visual that I don't want to think about. So, all right. That's it for today's program. We are back at it again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Tom Kitchen will be here. He is with
Pickaway Education Service Center. They're going to be talking about Pickaway County autism. There's a meeting coming up for that for the community. I think he's bringing 2 guests with him. I don't know their names yet, but we'll find out tomorrow morning.
All right. And then this edition of Letter Media Live will take place also right afterwards. That will be the Wednesday edition. Yep. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back with you soon here on Letter Media.